Hey, Jay.
Hi, Reed.
This question might sound a little bit sarcastic, but I think you know what I mean. Have you ever thought about what it would be like if you tied the first 6 minutes of the game?
Well, yeah.
How could you do that?
Is that a sarcastic answer to a sarcastic question?
Well, I think my point is irrelevant. What, you know, how do you do that? I mean, Leon said maybe it's a couple of bad bounces yesterday, but how do you look at it?
Yeah, I think every game we start, we have a plan, and we understand it's a 60-minute plan. It's not a 3-minute plan. It's not a 40-minute plan. It's not a 60-minute, or it is a 60-minute plan, and sometimes you require more than 60 minutes. We've already talked about this ad nauseum in this room. You know, the other team gets a say in some things as well. For me, you know, you never know when the most important minute of a game is. You never know. And so for us, we put a premium on every shift. We understand that not always are things going to go your way. But I really liked our level of perseverance to find a way to win. It's the find a way to win time of year. And for us, today was about recalibrating our mindset, separating what has happened from what can happen, the same way we recalibrated after game number 1. So our focus is on preparing for game number 3 tomorrow.
Jay, I just wanted to ask you about Duncan Keith and his influence at this time of year. This is basically why he was acquired by the Oilers, but can you just maybe just give us a thought on his influence and the things that he's doing to kind of settle your team down, especially last night when things weren't going your way?
Well, I think in my experience, you know, that might be your opinion that he was acquired just for this time of year, but I saw him play some really good minutes during the regular season as well. And just we talked about it last night in Calgary after the game, just his personhood, his presence in big moments. And I think that's what you're referring to. Is, you know, it's when it comes through. Those type of times. I saw that during the regular season. I see it currently. I thought he made a lot of really good poised plays with the puck. But sometimes it's just about how certain people handle situations, handle adversity, handle sticky circumstances. And, you know, I think he's been a good leader for our team.
And how's that rubbed off on guys like Evan, some of the younger guys on your team, where they can look and say, okay, this guy's been there, we're going to look at him and kind of follow him type?
Yeah, I think it's almost immeasurable. I think when you're talking with someone of Duncan Keith's stature, I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Fame hockey player. He's still got a lot to give, but his resume speaks for itself. And so when Duncan might be passing on a tidbit of information, the weight that carries from teammate to teammate, I think is immeasurable.
When you first arrived, the team had been through some pretty significant ups and downs. Can you compare maybe what you felt from that group when you'd get down in a game or when something bad would happen? Mm-hmm. How they reacted then to maybe what you saw last night or what you've seen in the playoffs, where it would seem to me like whatever situation this group is in, they seem pretty calm and ready to react.
Yeah. If you remember that time, it was about the beginning of February. Dave and I came up, and we had a really tough schedule because of the COVID rescheduled games and everything like that. So 5 games in 7 nights or something like that, and we got off to a good start. And then we met a little bit of adversity, and I think in those times you learn about each other. You learn about maybe adjustments the coaching staff might be looking for. You learn about people's capabilities in stressful situations. But most importantly, you learn that, for us anyways, that we have the people that can get the job done. And if we work together and we play towards a certain type of identity that we think we have what it takes.
With Connor specifically, when your team hits adverse moments, down too early, whatever, down a bunch in that first game,
Yeah.
what do you see from him in his demeanor? And how do you think that sort of the rest of the group responds or reacts to what he puts out there?
Well, two things. I think you people in this room would know that he's a pretty business-like person. He approaches the game with a level of seriousness, and that goes to his training, that goes to his nutrition, his rest, every aspect of Connor in terms of the professional hockey player is business oriented. He is driven to be the best in the world. He's driven to find marginal gains on a day-by-day basis. And I think, during crunch time or, as you said, adverse times in games, I think what you see is somebody who is still maintaining his character. He is businesslike. I think in his play, you see an elevation or his willingness to do just a little bit more. And I think that type of effort and leadership is contagious. And I think it resonates with our players.
Do you, I know you're so focused on the moment here. I wonder if you had any chance to kind of look at what's happened in the last couple games and what we're going into here. We got who knows how many more games left of this series. There's lots of weird stuff. That's a 9-6 game. There's 4-goal comebacks. There's a player scoring 20 points in 9 games. It hasn't happened since Lemieux in '92. Do you get the feeling you're part of something special here?
Well, I think, I think we're, in terms of just Connor or this series in
being part of this series.
Yeah, I mean, it's been different. I mean, you look at the game, we won a game last night. We had 2 goals called back, and we found a way to win a game. I mean, how often does that happen? Do I think it's special what Connor's doing? Yeah, you don't need me to tell you that. I think we're all witness to what's going on. In terms of this series, I said it right from day one. I think the team that's willing to do things harder and longer is going to be the team that comes out on top. I said this earlier in this press conference. For me, it's about managing our mindset and recalibrating and separating what has happened from what can happen or what will happen. And that's what our focus was here today. We met, we identified a few areas that we need to see continued growth in. And if we do that, we think we'll be in a good spot.
Just a quick word on Zach Hyman, if you can, Jay, what he brings. Seems like you can put him almost anywhere and you kind of have an expected result. Is that fair to describe him that way?
Yeah, I think with Zach, effort personified, will, strength on pucks, somebody who values hard plays and the little details that go into team wins. Certainly, I think his personhood, we're talking about Duncan's personhood, but Zach's personhood is one of consistent optimism, enthusiasm, and I also think that rubs off on his teammates. He's been a really good player for us, touches all areas of the game, and we're going to need him continuing to do that because he's been a really, really important piece for us. Good, thanks guys. Yeah.